covered pretty much. I got the
I never
whole
talked
thing.
to you, I never talked to you at that.
Oh, yeah, no, after you said something, I downloaded, or I downloaded it.
Are you watching on your laptop?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not trying to struggle with this.
No,
On your phone.
it's all here.
Where'd you pull my item? How did it sound?
My policy is any citizen contacts me once item home, and I talked to Alicia, she just left the one item in there, okay? Don't print the whole feed. Don't print the whole feed, because that's when people see something.
David, thanks for
And
coming.
they wonder what.
Oh, you're welcome.
So next time you change the feed.
I didn't change it, it just got dropped off.
I know.
I think they're actually gonna rebuild your house that got, your old house that got hit.
I thought they were gonna
Okay, no one should.
tear it down.
Service master called and asked about permits
Bless you.
to,
No one should wake up on a Monday
for
morning.
asbestos and stuff, they were just gonna take off the one,
Person they talk to.
the part that got hit.
Like the garage,
Yeah,
the kitchen.
Awesome. My favorite.
that's what he made it sound like, I thought it was done. Well, I was down there that morning, cause
Actually,
it was the first time I've ever been called for something like that. I went down there, was like, I was expecting like maybe carpet, like a corner of the garage, or back into something
Oh, you are
hanging out.
No, we were going,
They
we were
cleared
going
the
to,
curb.
and then realized that.
Yeah,
It's more of a godline.
every, we lived there 17 years, and every house around us had been yours.
Why don't we do
And
that?
my
Every
wife
time
finally said,
we do
we're
that,
moving.
It needs to be automatic.
Because we never let our kids play in the front yard.
Well, that's what I
So many cars come
I think
in.
you should,
This is the
I think
second
you should
Yeah.
declare it surplus.
Any other time I've ever done it.
At the time of purchase, you should declare it surplus and trade.
Yeah, I imagine, we lived in our house for 27 years, and, I,
In 6 years.
even if we moved.
I think when it's time for me to replace the
It would
snap
break my
fingers, I
heart
think
to
that's
see
what I'd
something
like to do.
happen to it.
Yeah.
Because it's
This
trade,
is part of your family.
It is,
Oh.
it's like my
to get
kids
trading
were,
value.
learned to walk there.
Off the, because it
Got their first jobs.
probably wouldn't be able to recoup, like if we were gonna sell it outright. It's
Yeah,
always
I
kind
really
of
felt for you
a,
when
it's
I
kind of a turkey shoot when.
saw that, cause I put myself, I had a lot of
Yeah, we're
empathy.
getting good money on trade-ins right now.
Yeah.
And the
I think that's
family
probably
that's
what it
living
is.
there now, or was living there,
I don't know, I don't. really
out there
know.
that morning, they were just so
It was
calm
18 months
and
ago.
collected.
So I don't know.
Well, I
no,
was
I just
crying
figured
and
that maybe
upset,
we were
they
thinking
were trying to figure out
No,
what I was
we
going
can
to
just
do.
talk to,
They were
we just need to
just,
talk to
who was
Alicia.
it, Cucumber, the lady, whose car, her boyfriend was driving her car, she's the one crying.
'Cause I don't really
and
care.
There wasn't a
I don't,
big
if,
deal.
upset and-
I really don't care. The ones that leave,
People
I
didn't
don't
understand the
care.
full nine.
I just want,
Surprisingly.
well, you know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying.
I don't know.
Whether we sell it outright or we use it as trade, I mean, it's still,
Yeah, we sold it to a
Still
family,
regaining
first time
value.
homeowner, immigrant family, we loved that for them. They had a great place.
Yeah, the young man was like
We're not gonna
in
put
his
you back.
20s. I
You're gonna do the
said,
death
he had just
things
left
and
the
that
kitchen
will
sink, made his breakfast.
don't say it, man. You gotta
He
give
had
us a
just
little
gone
bit of
upstairs
that.
to the bedroom, and then he said that his mom normally sleeps on the couch, but she had spent the night
Talk
with
to the wrong
his
Can you
sister.
stop by my office and we have a chat or something?
Yeah, we need, I need to refresh your order. Are you in here?
It could have been way worse than that was, but.
I need to refresh your order. The meaning of the season. Okay.
Well, let's go. Bring it.
So you presenting or the girls presenting?
I'm presenting.
Are they even here?
They may show up, but I don't think so.
Okay.
Holy cow. Look at this guy. You gonna give me a watch or what's the deal?
Don't be saying that, I have to give Jerry 30 years tonight, she might expect to watch too, say that out loud.
I got a 10-year. Pretty psyched about that.
I can check for it. Yeah, I remember the call, I heard it come out, but I don't. Yeah, he likes those cars. Big Dodge, yeah. Yeah, I'll check.
Okay, now we just want to.
It's gonna be nice next week. I'll do what I can.
What benefit does it give you to suspend civil service process for police officers?
What benefit?
Yeah, does it expediency?
Speed, yeah. Yeah, it's way better.
Like how, like,
So, if we, okay, so,
yeah, explain to me. Because if we have to hire like a bunch of dudes,
so before, we had a general hiring process, we either had to coordinate with the civil service unions, which were kind of sporadic at best.
Yeah.
Civil service unions,
ad hoc.
yeah, like, once a month.
Oh,
You're able to hassle people again.
Hiring process, the interviews, and you have to wait for the civil service, which could be the next month,
sure.
depending on whether you fall. And then you have to wait till the next available city council meeting after that, which could be 1 or 2 weeks. And then we're already,
So you're
we're already a
saving
month behind. Now,
3 weeks at best? You're shaving at least 3 weeks off of the process.
we are,
Good to see you.
and then right now, people get certified, go right into the background, and we get that conditional lifestyle. And so, we don't have the hooks now that we're gonna provide them the job, because it's background, it's all for other departments. So, process could take 3, 4, 6, 8 months. The other part of it is when we work area, do these lists, and when people drop out or their background, they should be exhausted. So it's just exhausted. Just add to where people have that exhausted. But a lot of it is just use it faster.
Then we'll go back to.
We don't want to do the background fast. We just want to make sure that people is conditional about.
Sure. So they don't get hoovered up by another agency or something go down, yeah.
You sit around and wait.
When you brought back nice work, right?
Yeah. The fact is, the Saturday when we got tons of snow, it's like,
Oh no, Chris, you're gonna have to step it up.
wow, sounds good.
With the what?
With who supports the police department, Tom was from Brandon said he gave $50, $100 to hand out to random people.
Oh, wow. We did that. We did that,
You want me to stand?
once.
Okay.
How's your season for the game?
Sure.
What, they say separation of church and state?
We're acting on, so they were writing, like, said to see someone, and, this officer was kind of around Christmas time, and just kind of, you want to learn my name?
I'll be good, I'll be watching. I kind of wish I was staying.
No. No.
Yeah, go ahead. How are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Which will just come up here. And you could pull the mic down. Okay. And just thought we fixed that. Anyway. So then you just introduce yourself and just, and then no one will really, you know, the Joel will say welcome, you know, because that was a nice article, especially you said there's, Marcia has a lot of potential. People need that. And then after this, you don't have to step. This is a nice article. Finally, it took Robert.
Test, test.
Greg, Melissa, can you hear us in the chambers?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thanks.
How you doing now? Oh, David, yeah. Okay. That's enough babies to kiss, Gary. That's enough babies to kiss tonight. Oh, don't go there. Just had a second hand.
And it was just as we turned to 5:30, just as we turned. We are called to order here. Today is December 22, 2025. The time's 5:30 p.m. We're at 10 West State Street, which happens to be the Marshtown City Council chambers. And with those who are able, please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance.
What do you think? Deck the halls first? Let's do roll call first.
Fonseca? Fonseca?
Unmute.
Fonseca?
Let's come back to her. We just had her.
Kell?
Here.
Lottie Hoff?
Here.
Mitchell?
Here.
Nichols?
Here.
Schneider?
Here.
Thompson?
Here.
Fonseca?
If you can hear us, Melissa, go ahead and shout when you get in. Otherwise, we'll just call the meeting to order with a quorum. And so we are called to order with the quorum. It's time first for the public comment, and that entails reading this. Members of the public may make comments on any item that was not on the agenda during this time. The speaker is to approach the mic, state your name and address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes unless I authorize more. Direct your comments to the mayor and the council as a whole. The mayor and council may provide a response to a public comment, but shall not engage in discussion or debate on items raised by members of the public. No action may be taken on items raised in public comments to comply with the open meetings laws. Microphone's open.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tori Miller. I'm the new owner at Brown Shoe Fit here in town. I moved here back in September. I'm really excited to be here, be a part of the community. Everybody's been really great, and I just wanted to come and introduce myself. And if you guys want to talk and learn more about me, just come by the store. All right.
Thank you. No debate. Very good shoes. I was there today.
I'll put this up. Linda Clark, 306 South 2nd Avenue. And I just am amazed. I am so happy to see everybody here in recognition of those that are getting awards, because I was here when there were those that didn't show up. And something happened tonight that I have been concerned about. Just what happened with the Zoom business. We don't know when they are online. And I'm old school, and I liked it when everyone was seated in the chairs, because then we knew that you were all present and accounted for. And just what happened tonight is proof of that, because she did not reply. And so I would like to go back to the old way. I'd like to have everybody working, seated in the chairs. This Zoom, we don't have any visual of the Zoom. We don't know where they are or what they're doing. But congratulations to everybody, and thank you for coming tonight. Makes me happy.
I suppose they could be in pajamas, and we wouldn't know it. Anybody else want to take the microphone? Okay, on to the fun stuff. Let's do mayor, council, and administrator comments in reverse order. Or go with council first. Anybody want to speak first?
Your Honor, if I may.
You may.
I'm just letting people know that the New York Times flew out and checked out our town in Marshalltown here. Lydia DePillis came in and she interviewed several people here. Her interests were piqued over some articles that were in the TR about what an amazing town we are, what makes us tick, how we're moving things forward. I believe it'll probably be in the New York Times in a week, possibly a week and a half. They're sending a photographer on Wednesday to do some pictures of the town. So if the article doesn't turn out good, then it's the TR's fault. So thank you.
For Joe Biden's. Oh, did I say that out loud? It's starting. It's already starting. Anybody else up here?
Your Honor, if I may.
You may.
Yeah, I had several of the snowplow drivers want me to let people know that they would appreciate if you would put your vehicles off street if possible during the snow. It's very hard to get through some streets, let alone having people parked on both sides. But I told them I would relay the message, and they are doing a good job. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else up here? I should ask Melissa if you can hear us, so you could unmute and we could count you here too.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Want to make any other comments other than that?
No.
Okay, very good.
I have something, Your Honor.
Okay.
I just wanted to ask the public to please go out to the Parks and Recreation, the city's Parks and Recreation Facebook page. Our Parks and Rec team has been very busy. There's been a little elf that's been partaking in some Parks and Rec activities, and they have some cute videos about that on the Parks and Rec Facebook webpage. So please go out and take a look at what's going on in our Parks and Recreation department.
Very good. That's it from, and I don't have any comments to make. I prefer having a rebuttal, just under my old daytime job. Let's go on to the fun stuff of years of service. Deb, do you want to start us off with that? That explains the fun noises that we don't always have up here.
Deb Millizer, Housing and Community Development Director, and I'd like to ask Jerry Larson to come up front. There you are. I'm right here. So tonight we recognize that Jerry has been the housing director, or housing administrator, I should say, or been involved with the housing department for 30 years, 30 years of service. She has, over those 3 decades, she has supported housing stability for residents, worked with landlords and partners, and kept program administration moving through changing requirements and community needs. And HUD is a large program to work with. It has lots of rules and guidelines, and it changes all the time. And she has, over the last 30 years, she has worked with that program. This last week, I have got to see just how much the community loves Jerry and all the work that she has done for this community over the last 30 years. We held a retirement cake reception for Jerry on December 18th, and the days leading up to that, the phone kept ringing, people calling to wish Jerry well, people stopping by, all the flowers, the cards, and all the people that showed up to her reception to thank her for her service that she provided to our community. I met Jerry a year ago. And the first week that we had the privilege of working together, Jerry talked to me about how important it was for her to, when she retired, that she felt like the housing department was in a good place and that she was going to have a qualified replacement that she could train, and we have done that. She has spent the last 6 weeks with Jamie Bachman Behrens, and all the information that Jerry has been sharing has been wonderful, and I'm really proud of all the work you've done over this last year. I only have a year of memories with you, but I've heard you take the extra step to help clients that have come in. Even if we weren't able to help them, you have sent them to additional resources and worked with your heart to make sure that their needs were met. So Jerry is retiring at the end of this month at 30 years, so we'd like to present you with your recognition for 30 years.
Thank you so much.
Right next to me, right there. Thank you. One more.
Thank you very much, Jerry.
Thank you.
Good evening, Heather Thomas, Public Works, and I would like to invite Bob Ranson up. Bob is our Water Pollution Control Superintendent, also celebrating 30 years, and I would like to thank his family and Lindsay as well for joining us at the office manager position down there. Bob's worked his way up from the bottom. He joined the city as a maintenance electrician 1. And that's an entry-level position without any wastewater certifications. After gaining his certifications in 3 years, he was moved up to a maintenance electrician 2, where he worked there for just shy of 10 years before taking over as the maintenance supervisor down there. And the water pollution control facility, it's a very complex facility with lots of moving parts, so maintenance is one of the most important objects and roles down there. As that position was updated to assistant superintendent a year later, he then worked there for 5 years before consuming and taking over the superintendent role, where he's been there for just over 11 years. Bob is the second longest tenured city employee right now, with Lance down at the plant being just above him, and then he just above Jerry. Now, we just heard Jerry's retiring next week, so I would like to reiterate, don't get any ideas, Bob. But as under Bob's leadership, we treat up to 13 million gallons a day down there. And while we may be tucked away in the northeast corner of the city, we are not tucked away from the DNR and EPA, which is definitely a microscope and fingers over his roles. As I came into this role from consulting, I worked with a lot of wastewater treatment facilities, and I will say the number of violations or tests that are out of compliance at our facility is so low and so far under any other wastewater treatment facility I've ever worked with. That's definitely a testament to Bob's leadership down there. Before I go there, I wanted to know, what do I think makes a really good employee? Well-rounded, trustworthy, and involved. Locally within the city himself, he is overseeing the city-wide safety committee that oversees all departments within the city, and he is the leader of that. He also organizes the annual Household Hazardous Waste program every year for the city. Within the community, he serves on the West Marshall School Board. And at the state level, he has been a past president and now chairs a maintenance committee of the IOWA organization, which is the Iowa Water Environment Association. They also recently acclimated and awarded him some recognition there that I would like to take the opportunity and announce as well and congratulate him while I'm up here. He was awarded the Arthur Sidney Bedell Award, which is a national award named after a leader in wastewater out of the state of New York. It recognizes organization leadership, administrative service, membership activity, and encouragement of technical function. These are all great things that we're able to bring here to the city of Marshalltown, very much because of Bob's hard work. And while not part of the job description, I also appreciate his somewhat sarcastic humor that is needed to work in the field of wastewater. So with that, I would like to thank and congratulate Bob on 30 years, as well as his statewide recognition.
Thanks for the assist.
Thank you, Bob. Yeah, we put the 3-minute timer on you. Okay. Chief?
Thank you. Hello, Mayor and Council. It's Christopher Cross. I'm your fire chief, and I would like to invite Cody Schmidt to the podium to introduce him to you. Cody is celebrating a 10-year anniversary with the department. And Cody plays center for the basketball team, which is great. He comes from a fire service family. He's a wonderful husband and father, has a beautiful family. And Cody came to the department about a year prior to me getting here. So we were kind of new guys together. And thank you for your friendship and your camaraderie in the fire department and getting me settled down. I really appreciate that. So I'd like to just briefly introduce Captain Barker is the B shift commander. B stands for best, according to them. Lieutenant Johnston is the lieutenant. And then, fellas, can you raise your hands and say hi to everybody? Great. Cody's a member of the award-winning multiple championship stair climbing team. Cody is an up-and-coming leader, aspirational leader. He's on the lieutenant's list. And the fire department will be in good hands when it's time for him to formally take over leadership of the joint. So everybody can rest assured that he will do wonderfully. I've seen this man show the greatest of compassion to people who are sick and hurt in the community. I've seen him hanging out all on the line to do some pretty heroic things on the fire ground, and we're happy to have you. So congratulations. Thank you. There you go, buddy.
Can we get the crew? Yeah, let's get the crew.
And thank you, Cody. If you guys don't know, that team that runs up the buildings, the stair climb down in Des Moines, it's like they ought to be in their own division, kind of like the UConn women's basketball team. They should not have to play anybody. They just are going to win all the time. That's what this team does every time they go down to represent us in Des Moines to do the stair climbing. Thank you, Cody. Chief Jones. Oh, I'm sorry. Yep.
Good evening, Chris Jones, Chief of Police, Marshtown. I'd like to invite Wyatt Shelongoski up front. Wyatt is here celebrating his 10-year anniversary. If you've ever had an opportunity to meet Wyatt, he's our department expert on tactical operations, farms instructor. He's trained in tactical medicine, has been a field training officer in the past, and does a wonderful job. He currently works a swing shift, so for us, that would be as a supervisor. He actually works nights or days or wherever he's needed. And one of the things that Wyatt's always brought is a general good sense of humor and kind of keeps things together. What I value about Wyatt is his no-nonsense opinions. When we have issues or concerns with staff, he'll bring those to me, regardless of what my thoughts are, but I always respect his side of it. He's very, very well respected within our staff. And from what I understand, and I didn't realize this till last week, apparently an expert small engine repairman. Is that correct? Kind of, sort of. So I do want to thank him and his family for being here. He's like Chris had mentioned, what you're going to see today is a group of future leaders within our agency. Wyatt for sure fits that mold, and he's doing a great job with our agency and keeping us all safe every day. So thank you very much.
Might have to stick around for a group picture. Oh, no, love to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I'd like to invite Derek Garcia. Hi. Detective Garcia is celebrating his 5th year with our department. He's going to be going on his 4th year in our detective division, one of the more senior members of our detective agency. And when you read the paper about many of the cases and calls that we deal with, those critical calls, whether they're robberies or homicides, or Derek's always involved in those. He brings that bilingual ability to our department, and does a wonderful job in interviewing and getting confessions from people that we wouldn't necessarily be able to make that connection with. Derek is also helps run the tobacco compliance, alcohol compliance checks for us. So he coordinates those from year to year, where we go into businesses and make sure that they are all compliant by not selling to underage people. He's done a wonderful job. Another opportunities we've had Derek before he was a detective as a field training officer, and he did a wonderful job there and quickly moved up into that detective division. He currently is really in charge of our digital evidence and handling how we process our digital evidence, and very much respect the way that you handle yourself. I joke with him a little bit because he has this quiet, calm demeanor, which I value very much, because I always come across and he doesn't feel like that anything really bothers him at all. But
He does a wonderful job at connecting with people and has done a wonderful job in our department. So thank you very much for your 5 years of service. And John Mayer. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Jonna
You know he's
is,
going to pick one of you to have to speak. No.
Jonna is also celebrating her 5 years of service. Jonna came to our department as EMT with Unity Point, did a wonderful job there, and then came on over to be a police officer, changed over. But before I kind of talk about Jonna, I want to, sometimes when we read the paper, sometimes we'll read articles in the paper and not necessarily be able to put a face with the story. But I want to read something that was in the paper last week that was meaningful to me. I just thought the public needed to hear it. But this came from the Your View portion of the TR. It was written by Austin Gillis, and he had put in an article about recognizing everyday acts of kindness. And it says, too often people are quick to complain and slow to praise. Today I want to take a moment and highlight something that I witnessed that deserves recognition. On my way to work, I noticed a young woman walking along the sidewalk near the local auto dealer. She was wearing a coat and carrying a backpack, and I assumed that she was heading towards a bus stop. Later, as I passed back through the area near the skate park, I saw her still walking. She looked tired and extremely cold, and I grew concerned. At the nearby gas station, I noticed a police car parked. From what I could tell, a female officer inside was also observing the young woman. Moments later, the officer pulled around, made contact, and greeted her with kindness. The young woman ran to the car, and the officer offered her for a ride. I truly hope that this woman simply needed a ride or nothing more was going on. Either way, I want to express my sincere gratitude for what our officers do every day. It's not always about pulling over speeders or making arrests. It's the small acts of compassion that go a long way. I also wanted to note that several other people had mentioned seeing the officer pick up the young woman, and it was noticed by more than just me, and it left an impression. Stay safe, stay warm, and God bless. And I think this letter is really indicative of what Jonna brings to our agency, is that element of compassion. And her experience within our department is all that. She's been a department detective. She works with youth outside of work, teaching dance. And from the standpoint of being someone that's within our department to kind of keep people grounded, you've definitely been able to do that. I very much appreciate, especially what Austin wrote, is that you do things when no one else is watching, and very much appreciate your service to the department. Welcome, and thank you for your 5th year.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I think he's going to do. Do I get in this? Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
And Andrew Weisspenning is also celebrating 5 years, unable to be. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes. Officer Weisspenning was our Officer of the Year this year. He's celebrating his 5th year with our department. He has a milestone birthday this evening, and his family had asked if they could spend some time together. That's perfectly fine, but he missed the meeting. He apologizes, and once again, another great officer. So thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a great police department here, or what? I'm not sure. On to the fun part on the agenda, oath of office of newly elected and re-elected officials. Yeah, would everybody who qualifies please head up to the table? Should we go?
Yeah, he's standing there. My back. You guys want to line up there?
Looking this way?
Yes, and then I'll have my back to the crowd. Okay, if you could please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear. I, Jeff Schneider, do solemnly swear. That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States
And the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa.
And that I will faithfully and impartially,
And I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all duties of the office of mayor or council.
discharge all the duties
Discharge all duties of the office of in the city of Marshalltown, Iowa. As now and hereafter required by law. Thank you. Congratulations. And then you may take your certificate of election at the top there. Okay, thank you. Congratulations.
I missed mine. That's all right.
All right, the next thing is called a recognition of Mayor Greer and Councilor Kell. God, if you don't recognize us by now, I don't know what the deal is.
All right, so on behalf of the city, I'd like to take a moment to recognize outgoing Mayor Joel Greer and outgoing Councilor Barry Kell, whose service to the city of Marshalltown has made a lasting impact. Mayor Greer, your leadership has been defined by your commitment to this community and a willingness to lead when Marshalltown needed it the most. You have brought thoughtfulness and a genuine care for the future of the city to this role. You have been dedicated to moving Marshalltown forward while honoring its people and its values, and we are grateful for the time, energy, and heart you have given to the position. Councilor Kell, your service on the City Council has reflected a deep commitment to thoughtfulness and thoughtful decision-making and to representing the residents of Marshalltown with integrity. You consistently approached issues with care, asked important questions, and helped ensure that council discussions were thorough and meaningful. I want to thank both of you for your service. I think Marshalltown is a better place because of your contributions.
I think it just broke the equipment.
Get you, Barry. There you go. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, you don't need me. You don't need me.
So we're taller. Okay, on to the consent agenda, and as I understand it, we're pulling number 9 out of it. With that proviso, would anybody like to move it? Move approval.
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Very good. Roll call.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Nichols? Nichols?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Kell?
Yes.
Lottioff?
Yes.
Very good. That carried. Let's go on to number 9.
Resolution approving a city fee schedule.
Is there a motion to approve it?
Move for approval, Your Honor.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Your Honor, I asked that this be pulled. Citizen requested to ask some questions about this. So that's why I pulled it from the consent agenda.
Well, the typical thing is we would ask for any discussion or comments up here first. Any of that? I doubt it, since it's a consent agenda item. Now, public comment.
Okay, it's Linda Clark, 306 South 2nd Avenue. And I took time to look at 11 pages in regard to this fee schedule. And I had some questions as to how much revenue the city makes from all of these fees. I would like to know whose responsibility it is to keep track of that and what it costs we, the citizens of Marshalltown, that does this. I wasn't sure if our finance director was the one that has to handle all this or not. But 11 pages of fee schedules, and I looked and I have been here listening to people that have spoke about how difficult it is to get anything accomplished here in this city. And so when I started reading all that, and I thought, 11 pages? And so evidently no one else must be concerned about it, but I am. I would like to know how much actual revenue we are receiving from all of these fees, and whose job is it, you know, to make sure. Is that our finance director's job to make sure that all of that money is accounted for and done properly? I mean, I had those questions.
Any discussion up here? Any other further public comment about this one? Any further discussion at all by anybody?
Your Honor,
Yes.
I'm happy to talk further with Linda and get her some more of the information that she's looking for. Linda, I can do that, meet with you. Yeah, I'll catch you after this and we can schedule a time to get together. Okay.
Very good. Roll call.
Schneider,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Fonseca,
Yes.
Kell,
Yes.
Lottie
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Nichols.
Yes.
Carried. On to reports. We just have one of those. The MPAC Quarterly Update Report.
Good evening, David Hicks, YSS of Marshall County, here to report for Impact. And even before we get into that, just really appreciative of law enforcement efforts we get to see as far as Impact goes, kind of when the boots hit the ground, the officers are fully engaged, and we're so happy to be able to help them and help the community who are affected by, you know, mental health. And when law enforcement gets involved, Impact is certainly a great opportunity for our city folks to improve resources and really to save time, money, and lives. I think we've been doing that. So stats through November, total calls for service, this is January through November 2025. So total calls for service, 204. That involves 446 people. Those calls regarding underage folks, 34% were under 18. If we look at the top 3 calls for service, mental health is number 1, 28%. Homelessness is 28%, mental health 20%, and family conflict 18%. So we break it down also to elderly, juvenile issues, addictions, domestic violence, and other welfare checks as well. Of those 204 calls for service, 203 officers returned to the field after that initial call, so 99.5% of the officers who initiate that first response when Impact gets involved goes back out into the field to do what they do best, law enforcement and public safety. Of those 204 client-accepted recommendations of our Impact Advocate, 95%, so that accounts for 195 out of 204 families and individuals that we get involved with, follow through with services and are actively engaged in improving the situation that has brought them to needing our assistance. Other things we've done, hotel stays through United Way funding and donor dollars as well. We've provided 43 nights of hotel stays for 40 people and 2 dogs. Largely that attributes to our homeless count, but also if there's a domestic violence situation and somebody needs a hotel stay, we're going to use those dollars to help house them for the night. In addition, we've done 646 follow-ups involving 1,101 people. Combining homelessness and mental health, 65% of our follow-ups involve homelessness or mental health. So predominantly homelessness and mental health are making up a considerable amount of time that we're taking when police are involved with those calls. But behind those numbers are real people. A couple of cases we've had the past month or so. Impact responded with Marshalltown Police Department regarding a person with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. There were multiple family members and friends on scene. Impact assisted with diverting the family from entering the home and de-escalating of the situation as emotions were very high, as you can understand. Impact stayed on scene with the family until released by law enforcement. And of course, we did subsequent follow-ups with that family to make sure that they were getting some treatment, especially mental health after that traumatic event. Here in the past month or so, a family with multiple children were referred to Impact by the Marshalltown Fire Department because they had no heat and they were running off several space heaters, creating a very dangerous situation. Impact was able to work with that family and working with the Housing Trust Fund through the United Way, get them another safe place to live. Impact was also involved with this family with Shop with a Cop that just happened a few weeks ago. So the Impact continues to follow up with this family to make sure that they are safe, and the family is reporting that they have a nice place to live with heat, and most importantly, without the numerous space heaters that created a real dangerous situation. So Impact continues to work with several different agencies throughout the community, Housing Trust Fund through the United Way, CAPS, Center Associates, many others. So we're certainly not the only boots on the ground, but part of our case management is critical when we could reach out to our partner agencies and get the families the assistance they need. So happy to answer any questions you may have. It's been another successful year. We're going to wrap up December numbers here in a couple weeks, and we'll have a kind of an annual report that will follow.
Any questions or comments up here? I've got one. It's one of the best programs. It is the stellar program in the whole state, which has cost you time and cost our police chief time by having to answer all the calls that you get from other cities and police departments asking, how the heck did you do it? And that was one of the most interesting, coolest nights of my experience, 12 years up here. Unanimous vote to fund it, not just for 1 year, but for 3. And my last hope is that the city sees fit to increase, to have a third person to cover after midnight, because we know that's their needs at that time as well. It's just working so well, we need to keep funding it.
Yeah, we've established a different schedule a little bit. So Tiffany Beadle has been covering a lot of overnights, working till 4 a.m. Those are the hours she prefers. I have no idea why. She's amazing that way, but that's Impact. And what you said about other communities wanting Impact, I gave a statewide presentation via Teams last week. Multiple law enforcement agencies across the state on there, and City of Denison was on there, and I got an email 10 minutes after I finished my presentation saying, hey, can we get Impact to come out to Denison? What would that cost? We just don't have enough people to do that, and our focus is Marshalltown and Marshall County. So looking at future funding, I think looking at opioid settlement dollars could be a real key funding piece to the city for establishing or at least maintaining our current 2. And we've secured opioid funding to expand to the countywide, adding a 3rd advocate. So I think that's probably where the rubber's going to hit the road as far as funding goes in the future.
You aren't able to see Sue Cahill, who will be sitting up here at the next city council meeting shaking her head. Yes. Her time in the legislature probably helped her figure out that, that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
And she might have the contacts that could help with that.
Yeah, I think co-responders, Marshalltown's just well ahead of the game, and it's the way of the future with mental health and law enforcement working together.
Once again, David, you do a great job. You've gotten the best award, the award for having the best facility in the state. It's not just in Marshalltown, but Ames and other places, Mason City, I think, too. So thank you for the work you've done.
Yeah, thank you all.
All right, on to resolutions.
Your Honor, can you yield me 2 seconds?
I can.
Just Impact.
I can. For something like that, absolutely.
I need to say something. Christopher Cross, Fire Chief. Historically, Impact has been kind of a law enforcement-centric type of organization. And the case that David referenced is a typical type of situation that my fire officers find themselves in quite frequently, where we're not doing crazy heroic things to put structures on fire out. This is like an overloaded electrical circuit type problem where we had, people calling us to their residence because they were concerned about a condition that was going on, and it was called in by a family member. When my fire officers find themselves in those positions, we don't necessarily have a good pathway or a good. There's no. We're the ones that are designated to solve those problems, and we don't really have a good resource to be able to help with that. And Impact got involved, and I think that really kind of shined a light as far as the fire officers go, to know that Impact is impactful. Pardon the pun. But I just want to say thank you, David, for your staff, and we are starting to utilize the service more and more on my side of the building. So we can hopefully, I just wanted to let you guys know that it's being utilized on all facets of emergency services. So thank you very much for doing that. It really helps us. It gives us an avenue to be able to help people even further. So thank you.
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Chief. You both have mentioned United Way. They just had their annual wrap-up meeting. Robert over here was one of the co-chairs of it. They've done a phenomenal job of being able to raise funds for the 25 agencies that they help. And one of the co-directors of that is also the director of United Way, is one of the co-chairs of the Homeless Task Force, and she's doing a great job along with CAP. So we have some really good agencies and really good volunteers like Robert to keep those things going. So, all right, now let's go on to resolutions. What's the first one?
Resolution approving a professional administrative services agreement with East Central Iowa Council of Governments for the Community Development Block Grant Disaster Recovery Housing Program.
Floor is open for motion.
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Thank you. Is there a second? Very good. Discussion.
Deb Millizer, Housing and Community Development Director. Tonight, I'm asking council to approve the ECI-COG as the city's CDBG-DR grant administrator for our new construction housing application. We issued this RFP twice. The first time, we didn't garner any proposals. On the second round, we emailed it directly to the COGS, and we did receive 2 proposals. Staff reviewed and scored both proposals. Staff recommended ECI-COG because they bring proven CDBG-DR performance and real capacity. Their housing team reports administration of 21 CDBG and CDBG-DR grants in the past 5 years with no findings for the CDBG-DR monitoring to date. They also completed environmental reviews on schedule and submit claims routinely. IEDA had recommended that since we had such a tight timeline to get this done, that we make sure that we have a really strong, complete team that would be able to work with us to complete the builds. Most recently, I'm never quite sure if I'm supposed to say ECCOG or ECI-COG, so that's why I've said it a couple different ways here.
I just want to know if they know their ABCs and cross their T's and dot their I's.
The last time I came up here, I talked about it as being the alphabet grant because there's so many acronyms in it, but CDBG-DR grant. Most recently, the ECCOG had administered the grant for Atkins and successfully closed that out with 6 units, and they were completed. And they also listed the mayor of Atkins as one of their references. They came highly recommended. They'd also been recommended by the IEDA when we were exploring. So approval tonight of them to be our initial grant administrator would keep us on track to meet the January 31st deadline for the IEDA. So I'm asking council tonight to approve the professional services agreement with ECCOG.
Thanks, Deb. Questions or comments by the council? Public comment? Roll call.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Kell?
Yes.
Bodyhoff?
Yes.
Great. Carried. When able. Next resolution.
Resolution approving the use of council-designated local option sales tax revenues for 1 year of costs for the flock camera system.
Floor is open for a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion.
Your Honor? Your Honor? Mr. Nichols?
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
So this is a question that I'd have probably for Diana or Carol or maybe Chief Jones. Currently, if I look at the statement that we approved in the financial statement, per projections, the original flock was defined to be paid for by automatic traffic enforcement cameras. That is projected to be $113,000 in the red. That is an annual cost of $96,000. If we add another $94,000 plus install costs, our loss, local option sales tax revenue, is now projected to be $1.47 million in the red. Where exactly is this funding coming from?
Well, I have the lost statement in front of me. So right now, the balance, projected balance at the end of fiscal year 2026 is $1.687 million. You have two commitments that follow in future years, one for $50,000 and for impact, and one for the Arts and Culture Alliance for 5 years for $585,000. So you would be roughly $1 million in the projected fund balance. And then we get about $1 million a year in council designated local option sales tax revenue. So that would leave you about $2 million there. You have some commitments. I don't have those in front of me beyond, I guess I just said those, the two that you have in the future years. So there would be enough money there to fund $190,000 in for the flock system. That's not counting any transfers to the general fund to balance the budget, though.
Right. And in the past, we've always done that. So per what's on that statement, this year's budgeted loss is projected to be $1.47 million in the red. Is that correct?
I'd have to have Diana address that one. I'm not clear on that.
Diana Steiner, Finance Director. What are you looking at, Councilor Nichols?
So you provided our statement for October of this year, where you've got the
In the financial statements?
year-to-date financial statement.
Okay.
And
So
both ATE was projected at a negative 113,000 negative in the red, and loss was projected to be 1.47 million in the red.
Okay, those aren't projections, those are just cash basis. So, we have additional ATE revenue coming in every month through the month of June. So that doesn't account
Right.
for that. And you had a fund balance
So-
coming in.
So what's your why is your budget that affected that much then? I mean, assuming we have planned spending against that already?
Yes, I think the body cameras, is that what we have in the ATE? The body cameras and the ATE, which we just paid,
Yes.
right?
That was $185,000.
Yeah. And the flock cameras were, part of it was
And
lost and part of the ATE.
At the ATE is not covering this as well, correct?
Councilor Nichols?
Yes.
So when we went into the budget year from the previous, when we signed the contract for Flock, it was for a two-year contract. We went into that understanding that we would have ATE funding to be able to cover that. In order
Right.
for us to purchase our body cameras, in-car cameras, we signed a 5-year contract with Axon with a beginning 1-year sum of $100,000, which initially came out of sales tax, council designated sales tax. This year, both of those items came due relatively at the same time. Both of them were supposed to come out of ATE funding. We lost 2 cameras on 12th Avenue, which reduced that amount of funding, and we didn't have enough ATE money to cover both. We did have enough built up in the last 18 months from ATE to pay the Axon invoice that was due on the 31st of this month, which we did. And then we're moving forward with the flock and requesting local option sales tax funding as the alternative source. We do not have ATE funding to fund both programs.
So I guess this is probably a Carol question. So is this sustainable? Because the proposal was 1 year of funding from lost. Is that going to require both of these continue to be lost? And per that planning, whereas, or is this going to be sustainable?
Well, I guess I can't answer that question. That's a difficult question. I can tell you for year one, we have the dollars available. In future years, it's hard to say because I don't know how much loss we would need to balance the general fund. I don't know what other requests might come up. So it's highly dependent on those variables.
Your Honor.
Yes, go ahead.
Carol and Chief Jones, I'm wondering so when the new cameras get put in, if this goes through, regarding the sustainability part and needing funds for them in the future probably, right? What will happen to the cameras if the system isn't, like the budget or it's not paid for? I mean, if they're up, how do they stay up and keep working throughout the years? Is it just a cost, the $196 for the cameras to be put up and then they'll work after that, like for a number of years, or?
Yes, we would, the next proposal for the next resolution will ask for a 2-year contract, which was received from us from Flock. That would be $190,000 per year, plus the additional installation charges for the first year. If we were not able to continue, then we would terminate the contract with Flock. They would own the equipment. They would be responsible for taking the equipment.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions or discussion by council? Otherwise, I'll go to the public. Any public comment?
Penny Hartwell, 606 West Boone Street, Apartment 4 in Marshalltown. I'd just like to say that I think if you take the safety cameras away, that you're going to have more problems in the town. And at what point do you put the cost aside and keep people safe and keep our officers safe also?
Thank you. Anyone else like to talk about that?
Your Honor?
Let me, we got somebody walking to the podium right now.
Yes, Linda Clark, 306 South 2nd Avenue.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. I was trying to answer the counselor who's remote. Go ahead, Linda.
Okay. I had a question about these flock cameras from the very beginning. And when I hear that we're in the red, and when I hear people come up here and say that we've got a really bad homeless problem, I have things I want, but I have to decide what I can pay for that I need to have. And I question this. We are renting, leasing, whatever, and we're speculating on how we're going to come up with the money, and we're in the red. Everybody wants to be safe in this community, including myself. But there comes a time when we just don't have enough money. And when I hear in the red and speculation as to where the money's coming from, I have a very much problem with this issue. Thank you.
And let me finish with anybody else in the public. Otherwise, I'll get back to you, Mr. Nichols.
Yes.
I don't see anybody else coming up to the microphone. Go ahead.
So I would very much support keeping our current flock in place for the security of our officers and for their success that they've been. I just, from my perspective, can't see us being able to support doubling that up. And so until we figure out for sure the revenue, I'd have to vote no against the expansion, but I'm very much in favor of maintaining what we have.
Okay, thank you.
Your Honor, if I may?
You may.
I'm a little taken aback by, I'll just say, okay, those on the council that voted for the TIF agreement for the mall, the 7.25 million, and explained to me that not only would we recoup that in future property tax, but we would recoup, or not recoup, we would create a lot of additional local option sales tax. So if you do the math and say the mall,
Your Honor, point of order.
What is your point of order?
Why are we comparing the TIF for the mall agreement to the flock system resolution?
I take it as being a question of budgeting and the ability to afford it, so I'm probably going to allow that line.
Okay, thank you.
thank you, Your Honor. So the mall will obviously add to our local option sales tax. It's projected some of the stores to open in April. So by my math, if everything I'm being told is correct, that you're talking about an influx, very conservatively, of $200,000 additional in sales tax going into the coffers of the city, of that 1%. So that alone, just the mall alone, will fund the flock camera, the current system, and the additional cameras forever, in perpetuity. So I think if we're going to start talking about what accounts have this and what accounts have that, let's look at the big picture and let's put them all back into the equation also, and the tax revenue that I'm being told that it's going to add to the local option sales tax. So, and one of the things I've been advocating for 6 years in the council is one of the three things is have the safest city. And just again, the incident at the high school proved the flock cameras work. And, you know, about cost, it's like we can say how much they cost for safety and it's not worth it. Well, it's worth it to the person that is wronged by someone committing the crime. So I have no problem with doing everything we can to help the police force in this town. Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. I know you mentioned the juvenile that was arrested for shooting in the parking lot. We just got word today or yesterday about the person that had been scamming from card readers going around the state from Canada. And I don't know if everybody got that email today that I did, but that person was caught in part because we had the flock cameras. As I understand it, one of the murders that has resulted in a conviction was because of the flock cameras, and the hit and run involving a death involved the flock cameras too. So there have been some pretty good success stories, but we don't have every egress and ingress covered yet, is my understanding. I'll quit editorializing. Anybody else want to speak? Otherwise, we'll call the roll. Let's call the roll.
Vladioff,
Yes.
Mitchell,
Yes.
Nichols,
No.
Schneider,
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Fonseca,
Yes.
Kell,
Yes.
Very good. That one carried. On to the next one, when able.
Resolution authorizing the police department to contract with Flock Safety for public safety camera services.
Chris Jones, Chief of Police, Marshtown.
Let me call for a motion
Oh,
first.
sorry.
Move for approval.
Thank you.
Second.
Sorry,
Hit it.
Chris Jones, Chief of Police, Marshtown. As part of the general expansion, we've been working with Flock Safety to come up with a usable contract. Over the last 2 weeks, we've been in close communication with them to work out a contract that from the concerns that had come up in the previous council meeting to make sure that we're making a sound investment over time. What we're looking for is a general expansion of our flock system to get the areas of town that we haven't covered yet. As many of you know, and what we are generally finding out is that video evidence is imperative for us to work on both from an investigative standpoint, but then also a prosecution standpoint. And part of the general packet was a letter from County Attorney Jordan Gaffney for support of this program. And back when I had started in law enforcement, there was an expectation that an officer's words during the investigation was taken at high regard, and I believe that it is taken at high regard, but with the current environment of movies and TV, we have to realize that many juries rely on video evidence, tangible evidence, and DNA to be able to get convictions. And outside of understanding of the overall safety that these cameras bring to our community, it helps us get and prosecute the people that are coming into our community and violating our citizens. One of the other aspects of Flock that we have found out just recently has been not only are we able to use them to be able to track down the people that have committed these offenses, but we're also able to contradict some of the statements that they're making and the alibis that they're presenting, which is also helpful for the prosecution of these crimes. So when we bring someone in and we sit down and interview them and they say, I was at such and such place at such and such time, we can use these cameras to be able to either verify that information or prove that it's false. So there's a lot of different aspects of this. I think not only Flock, but any license plate technology. If you've ever been in the Des Moines area, it really is tentatively the future, and I think we're really on the cusp of being a model agency and a model community for many others. And the city of Cedar Rapids, which was the article that I had sent, had made an arrest of somebody that was putting skimming devices in the city of Cedar Rapids, and they were coming here to do the same. And because we had those flock cameras installed, we were able to pick that person up relatively quickly and get them released back to Cedar Rapids, where they could be held accountable for those crimes before they actually committed crimes here locally. So in our contract with Flock, we had worked with Flock Safety at developing a termination strategy, just in case, and some of the comments that were brought up in the previous meeting about the legal environment that surrounds the Flock systems and the privacy laws, and we wanted to make sure that we had stipulations in there that if there was any law, ordinance, federal, state, or local that would prohibit Flock from being used, that we were able to terminate that contract. Flock Safety had notified us and let us know they've never worked out those arrangements with another community, but they were willing to do that with us. So as part of that contract, if you read the termination section, 7.2, in the attached material, you'll find that we had worked that in just in case there was some legislative changes. And being familiar with the ATE changes and bringing you to the ATE program and having the state come in and find regulations, I don't know where that's going to go. All I can do is guarantee you that this system for us is very, very important. Captain Stevenson has stood up and explained that we take this very seriously. Any violations from communities that we partner with, any violations that happen within our department will be taken very seriously. If anybody hears of any concerns or there are any accusations that something is being done improperly, just you can let me know, and we'll make sure that we investigate that to the fullest of our ability. So as part of the general contract, we're looking for a 2-year contract with Flock Safety. It is $190,000 per year with initial costs that are dependent on the infrastructure cost for putting up the new cameras. That would include point tilt zoom cameras in certain areas in the uptown area. It'd be First Avenue in Maine. That'd be at First Street in Maine, North Center Street, would be where the cameras would be put in, that we would replace one of the Crime Stoppers cameras that was put behind the city center. That camera has been very valuable for us for many, many years, and we would like to replace that with something that's interlocked into our system. The other portion of this plan would also put live viewed cameras in critical intersections where we've had either major traffic accidents or major fatalities. So you'd see one outside Menards at Iowa Avenue and 6th Street, Madison and 3rd Street. And then we would have those on Center Street at Olive Street. We would have them on Merle Hibbs, Iowa Avenue and Center. We would work up and replace the Crime Stoppers cameras, which we have currently at Anson Street and Center, 3rd Avenue, and Anson, and then Main Street and 3rd Avenue, where we had that traffic fatality a month or so ago. And then we would close out that full project with our license plate reader cameras to be able to get the roads going in and out of town.
Time for questions or comments by the council.
Your Honor, if I may.
You may.
Chief, would it be possible just to replace the cameras that we do have now as far as cost efficiency, and then add the other ones later when we see how many stores we're going to have available to give that extra sales tax?
We can add as many cameras that we choose to pay for. When we're looking at replacing the cameras that we currently have, they would be live feed cameras at those general intersections. So we really only have 4 that are actually, well, 3 that are actually functional. So Anson and Center, 3rd Avenue and Anson, and then behind the city center. What we would look to do is just keep that network of cameras available and make sure that we don't provide an area of town that is more vulnerable than another area of town. Now, we have seen and have evidence of people that have used or tried to get around the system by changing license plates on cars would be an example. We've been able to work through those issues through our investigative strategies and all of the systems that FLOC provides us. What we're looking for is just a complete network that we have every area in town, and every area in town is equally, we have cameras available equally across the entire community.
Thank you.
Other questions or comments by council? Any public comment on this one? Roll call it is.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Kell?
Yes.
Lottiehoff?
Yes.
Mitchell?
No.
Nichols?
No.
That carried as well. On to our discussion items. First of which is reallocation of bond funds for deferred city maintenance projects. Who wants taken the lead on this one? Diana?
I'll kick it off, and then Diana will add in.
Okay.
So first, the city currently has 3 bond issues that have unspent funds, the 21, 22, and 23 bond issues. What staff is proposing, that there are some projects that were identified for use for those bond funds that have been delayed for one reason or another, different factors, and that in order to spend down the bond funds, we're proposing that we fund some deferred city facility maintenance projects, and that when those projects that we originally bond for catch up, then we would reissue bonds for those projects. So we're asking for roughly $2 million to carry out a list of projects that have been identified in the memo. I won't read that list, but I'm happy to answer any questions if you have it. Other than that, we'll just take questions.
Any questions? Or discussion up here? Any public comment? Be the shortest discussion item we've had in a long time, but you need some staff direction.
Yes, we do. Basically, I need council direction to initiate the process for the reverse referendum that's required when particular projects aren't specifically mentioned in the bond language.
You can.
Okay, so I want to make a public comment on.
Oh, you have to identify, we all know you, but you have to identify yourself first.
Marco Yepes Gomez, 36 West Main Street, Unit 309, or 209. So, yeah, one of the things I've been eyeing is that City Hall renovations project. A study came out, I think like 3 or 4 months ago, and I think Councilor Kell was right that, the study came out and the cost a little bit high, but, that's something that we should have expected out of an HVAC study. So, yeah, I just kind of want to point out that that's something I'm pretty interested in.
Are you saying that when you come up here, you want to have the heat on?
Yeah, I really want that to go forward. It's a reverse referendum. I think it's like 10% can petition, and it can go to actual referendum. And I feel like even if it did, I hopefully we can all make a good case that City Hall should be maintained for the sake of having a good government. Yep, that's it. Thank you.
So I'll mention at the next council meeting, I think I will have a proposal from architect firm FEH. They're working on the library building. They came in and took a look at the Carnegie building. This was at the direction of council. And they're going to provide us with a proposal to further investigate what moving staff into the Carnegie building would look like. So that's just an update. I did include either HVAC improvements or Carnegie building improvements driven by the City Hall HVAC study in the list of potential projects.
Very good. I think FEH was involved in the project out at the high school too, where they put in what I would call the shop class. I've forgotten what they call that program out there. And I think one of the principals there grew up in Marshalltown too.
They also did the design, I think, for the improvements to this building as well. They had the plans sets already, so.
You need any votes or direction on that one, or should we go on to the next item?
Well, I need some direction still. I need to make sure that I've got direction to. The next item would be setting a public hearing for the reverse referendum process.
Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think I'd make a motion to direct staff to proceed. That'd be my motion, then I'll make a comment. I don't know whether I'm going to support this or not. It wasn't really.
Okay, we have that motion. Staff to proceed.
I would second that.
Okay, now
No.
discussion.
Make a comment, Your Honor. So I don't know if I'll support this or not. I know we have lots of needs. When do these bond funds need to be spent down by? And I'd like to see the cost of each individual project. I assume that's what will come back to us.
Yes, I have some potential construction costs for each project. I need to add in some engineering fees, but we can provide those estimates when we come back.
Your Honor?
Yes.
If I may. I noticed that some of the projects are the aquatic center, the water slides, the decking, that type of stuff, ball field lights and stuff like that. Those are things we got to keep up because they will get worse, and when they get worse, they will be much more expensive. So I'm in favor of this.
I happened to notice when I was hauling a desk out of the front door that our steps are looking okay now and they're safer, but they weren't for years that we were coming in here. Yeah. Anybody else? I think let's go ahead and call the roll.
Kell?
Yes.
Lottiehoff?
Yes.
Mitchell? Nichols?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Very good. That carried as well. All right. And the last one is the TIG Distributing Inc. Development Agreement and Clarification of Employment Commitments.
So, Your Honor, before you ask for a motion on this one, a rep from TIG could not be here this evening. They've asked that we table the item until January 12th when they can have a representative available.
Is there a motion?
Your Honor, I would move that we postpone this item until the January 12th meeting.
Second.
Roll call.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Kell?
Yes.
Lottiehoff?
Yes.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thompson?
Yes.
Carried. Okay. Gee, this is the last time I get to read this closed session thing. We are going into closed session if there's a motion to do so under this language. The motion would be that we go into closed session pursuant to Section 21.5, Section 5C of the Iowa Code to discuss strategy with counsel on matters where litigation is imminent and where its disclosure would likely be to the prejudice or disadvantage of the city in that litigation. The city of Marshtown has an attorney-client relationship with Litch Dallas by council resolution, and there may be council action by motion following the closed session if directed by the city's attorney. Is there a motion to that effect?
Make a motion.
Second, and roll call.
Fonseca?
Yes.
Kell?
Yes.
Lottie Hoff?
Yes.
Mitchell?
Yes.
Nichols?
Yes.
Schneider?
Yes.
Thompson?